All right, let's get into it. Today, we're laying out the ultimate roadmap for anyone who's ever thought about a career in audio engineering. But, we're not just talking about old school stereo sound. We are diving headfirst into the most exciting frontier out there, immersive audio. So, let's go.
If that's you, you're in exactly the right place. Maybe you're just starting out, kind of trying to figure out your options, wondering what skills you even need to make it in the industry today. Well, think of this as your personal guide. We're going to go from curious beginner to a confident pro in the wild world of immersive audio.
And that's really the most important thing to get, isn't it? The biggest shift happening in sound right now, it isn't about volume. It's about dimension. We're literally moving from a flat two-speaker world to creating entire sonic realities that you can just step inside of. And that is where the real opportunity is.
Okay, before we get our hands dirty with gear and careers, we've got to learn the language. These are the core ideas, the building blocks that define the modern soundscape. Getting these down is your first and honestly your most important step.
First up, spatial audio. You can think of this as the big umbrella term for everything we're going to talk about. It's the whole idea of making sound feel like it's happening in the real world, all around you, not just blasting from your headphones. It's about creating a true sense of place. So a whisper feels like it's right there, next to your ear, and a helicopter sounds like it's actually flying overhead.
So how do we pull that off? How do we get that realism? Well, a huge part of the magic is something called object-based audio. Instead of mixing sounds to, say, a left or right speaker, you treat each individual sound, a footstep, a car door, a single line of dialogue, as its own object. Then you tell the system where that object is in 3D space, and the system is smart enough to figure out how to play it back on your specific setup. That's the secret sauce behind formats like Dolby Atmos.
Now, if object-based audio is about placing individual sounds, ambisonics is about capturing an entire sound field. It records a full 360-degree sphere of audio from a single point. This is absolutely critical for things like VR and 360-degree video because it lets you, the listener, physically turn your head and have the sound change realistically, just like it would in real life. It's incredible. And this is the last piece of the puzzle, and it's where things get really personal. HRTF. It's basically the science of how your own unique head and ear shape changes sound before it hits your eardrum. It's like your personal sonic fingerprint. And get this, modern systems are now using machine learning to create a custom HRTF just for you, which makes these spatial audio experiences almost indistinguishable from reality. So let's just boil it all down. We all know stereo, right? Sound on a flat line between your left and right ear. Well, spatial audio shatters that line. It creates a whole sphere of sound. It's the difference between listening to a recording of a place and feeling like you are in that place. And that feeling is what's powering the most exciting games, movies, and music being made today.
Okay, you're speaking the language. So now for the fun part. What tools do you actually need to start building these worlds of sound? And we're not even talking about a ton of expensive hardware here. We're going to focus on the industry-standard software that the pros are using every single day. Your software toolkit really boils down to three main things. First, your DAW, or Digital Audio Workstation. Pro Tools is still the undisputed champ in film and music, especially now with its deep Dolby Atmos integration. And the best part? You can download Pro Tools Intro for free to learn the basics. Second, for anything interactive like games, you need middleware. Wwise is the industry standard, and it acts as the bridge between your sounds and the game itself. And again, it's free for non-commercial projects, which is perfect for building your portfolio. And finally, you'll want some spatializer plugins like the Dear VR Suite, which are the tools that let you actually design and manipulate these 3D audio spaces right inside your DAW. You've got the concepts, you've got the tools. So how do you actually get the training? Well, the great news is there's no single right way to do it. You can pick the path that works best for you, your budget, and what you want to achieve.
You've really got three main options here. You can go for a full university degree, which will give you a super deep foundational understanding of the science and theory. You could go for professional certifications, which is a much more direct way to prove you've mastered specific job-ready skills. And of course, for the self-starters, there is a ton of amazing workshops and online courses out there.
The university route is fantastic for building that really strong base. And you'll find incredible programs all over the globe, from heavily engineering-focused degrees at places like the University of Rochester or TU Graz, to more creative production programs at spots like the SAE Institute or Catalyst in Berlin. This path gives you structure, time, and access to some seriously high-end gear.
But hey, maybe a full degree isn't your path. If you want to get job-ready skills and prove them quickly, certifications are an absolute game changer. Companies like Avid, Dolby, and Audiokinetic, the people who make the tools, offer their own official training. Passing their exams gives you a credential that basically screams to employers, hey, I know what I'm doing. It's a seriously powerful signal.
All right, this is the destination. This is what it's all about. Once you have the knowledge and the skills, a whole world of creative and technical jobs just opens right up. So let's look at where this adventure could actually take you. Now, take a look at this. This is so important. A massive 40% of the opportunities are in gaming. Then add another 25% for VR and AR. I mean, do the math. That's 2/3 of the entire market in interactive entertainment. That is the beating heart of the immersive audio industry. Film, TV, and music are definitely growing, but the real engine is in creating these dynamic, living, breathing worlds. So what does that look like in the real world? It means you could be the person designing the sound for the next massive video game at a studio like Jaeger or Wooga. Or maybe you're creating the sound for a new theme park ride at a place like Universal Creative. You're not just adding sound effects to a picture, you're literally building the sonic rules for an entire universe.
And on the other side of things, if you love film and music, the opportunities there are exploding too. You could be mixing the next Hollywood blockbuster in Dolby Atmos or helping your favorite artist completely reimagine their album for spatial audio. Creative hubs like Berlin are full of these amazing cutting-edge studios, like Mark's Audio and Mono, that are dedicated to nothing but pushing the boundaries of what sound can do. Wow, we have covered a ton of ground. We've decoded the language, we've looked at the tools, we've mapped out the training paths, and we've explored the careers. So now, it's just about putting it all together. And here's the main takeaway from all of this. The journey from where you are right now to a career where you're shaping the future of sound, it's not some big mystery. It's a clear path. It just takes learning these core concepts, getting good with the key software, and then picking the training route that feels right for you. And that brings us right to the end, to the most important question of all. You have the roadmap. The only thing left to figure out is where you want to take it. The worlds of tomorrow are waiting for their sound designers. So, will you be one of them?